I apologize for the brief intermission. As I was saying, I have a degree in special education, and I'm constantly, trying to find new ways to support my students. So, in regards to the TPK, technological pedagogical knowledge, I'm finding ways to support student learners, whether they have learning disabilities, or 504s, or just students who may have unfortunately fallen through the cracks and just need, different ways of supporting them until they can possibly get an IEP or a 504. And that is offered to all students. It's not just students for students with special needs. And that was, again, all ideas that were discussed in Claire's TPACK informational video on YouTube. The last thing that Claire brought up was that the more knowledge that when planning and implementing instruction that a teacher has, technological, pedagogical, content knowledge, the more powerful and meaningful the 21st century learning experience is for the students. And that really spoke numbers to me, because I want to be the best that I can be. And I realize that there is way more than content knowledge that I have to have. I have to have pedagogical knowledge. I have to understand my students and understand the dynamics of my students and how they learn, and understand how technology can help fulfill that experience for them. In Kohler's and Mishra's reading that was posted on Blackboard, they discussed that pedagogical knowledge requires an understanding of cognitive, social, and developmental theories of learning and how they apply to the students in the classroom. So again, I need to know more than just who my students are and what the content is. I need to understand the dynamics happening behind that. They also discussed that technology is an open-ended interaction, and I love that. In the readings this week, through our books, they discuss that technology, unfortunately, is sometimes used like $100,000 flashcard, and I don't want it to be close-ended. I want it to open the world for my students, not just throw facts at them and have them memorize facts. So in this lesson, students' minds are being opened to the past history, the current history, and future history of our nation's debt, and in using that in combination with our math content knowledge. Harris, Mishra, and Kohler, in their different article, they discuss that TPACK emphasizes the connections among technologies, curriculum content, and specific pedagogical approaches. It demonstrates how the teacher's understandings of technology, pedagogy, and content can interact with one another to produce effective, discipline-based teaching with educational technologies. So it's not only incorporating technology, but it's educational technology. How can this technology be used to not only teach, but help my students learn, and ask more questions and get their questions answered and collaborate? So within my lesson, I do want to create more options for collaboration. So that is something that that I would change. I would prefer to have more partner and group work, and I could do that through class discussions. BeSocrative.com could be used as a partner or group effort, but I am also assessing my students' reading comprehension. So in regards to the vocabulary in the beginning of class, I could, instead of having one person, define 4 vocabulary words, I could have 4 people define the vocabulary words, and do kind of a placemat puzzle collaborative activity where each of them learns from each other, and they discuss the definitions of vocabulary words, and they could present it to the class. So, those are the improvements that I would like to make in my lesson. I strongly believe that TPACK has made this lesson, a very engaging, technology-based, real-world-based, content-based lesson that I think my students will enjoy and absolutely learn from and make meaningful connections. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great evening. And here are my references for my photos that I used.